And here we are. Qualifying immediately starts. That's how I like it. Then you don't have to wait. Let us show our overtaking skills. Let's see. Let's see what it will be on today's race. Cacao, there is the Nitro Knights livery. Yeah, it does look good. Does look good. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Some people do have Drivers Plus. I was wondering why it changes so much, but yeah. Let's see. TV camera 1 on the monitors now. As we go up on the last turn for Rowan Lynch for Apex Assault Racing, I do believe. Let me triple check that, but I know I'm right. Apex Assault Racing. I know my people at this point. I know my people. Gallego, Cajao, Medina, we know them. Ooh! My Sticks demo is actually done loading. Or maybe we'll check that out tomorrow. Or I'll do something for the Variety channel and do some VODs with the Sticks demo and see how it is. Could also work on stream. We either start Control tomorrow or Red Faction. Really depends. And then next week I want to do Psychonauts and maybe one of the Batman parts. And I think then we're standing pretty good in at least in January already with the roadmap that we currently do. Tomorrow, Lost Planet is done. And then Red Faction, Control. Hopefully one of them we can finish this week still before Lime Rock. Because Lime Rock might take 5 days, you know. You never know. Really depends. And with Yodake yesterday being so generous on the subs, he actually added a bunch of new ones. All right. Qualifying looks good. I wanted to say now the first few people go over the line here, setting the first few lap times. Samolenko on the fastest. And Yodake behind with like 7/10. I'm not sure he can do magic. I'm not sure he can pull the rabbit out of the hat here. But that doesn't need to mean anything. When the race is starting, cards are getting shuffled again. And you never know. Samolenko might have problems, might have trouble here and there with his Porsche once we're talking side-by-side racing. Yanak P3, fairly close, but still 4/10 away from Yodake. Lynch, quite close to Yanak as well, in P4 currently. Gallego, after his first lap, is on P5. Viner did a quick lap, is now in the pits maybe to reevaluate the setup, maybe try something new. Who knows what he has in mind for the last 4 minutes of this qualifying. And then we go. Mike very much in the mix on P5 now. Medina P8, Cacciao P9. But I usually don't believe that. They are up the mix. I don't think they are pushing everything out of it. And their Cacciao is already putting up a faster lap here. That's probably going to be a 48. 48.7. 48.7 for Cacciao, letting him stay in P8, P9 there with Medina, who is also trying some green. I do see some green there. Samolenko, fastest sector 1. That is looking good. We'll drop by that very, very soon. But as for now, Medina, some green, but not a better sector than before. By 200ths of a second off by that. So let's jump to Samoilenko because only the first sector seems to be going good. He basically lost all of that in the second sector. By the amount of cars behind him, I would say he might have encountered traffic along the way. And probably had to overtake Yordake and or Vina. Which probably messed up with his lap, but anyway, 7/10ths up. In between him and P2. I don't think there is much anybody can do in actually catching that. Samoilenko, 2 purple segments there. Third sector is probably... And he still does a faster lap than that. Found a 10th of a second here on Brands Hatch. Beautifully done. Let me see. Yordake. Currently still here in the mix, but has Samoilenko in the front. Right behind there is Vina, I believe. Janak throws the car around, but with trouble today. I'm not sure that is how he usually does it. I'm not sure if that is a lack of training. He's still on P3, but this is not the Janak that we usually know that shoots for the stars in the Porsche today with a lot of competition, it seems. We have the top 5 at least below 48. Mike still with a 48.2. But then again, consistency is key. Yordake already said in P2 currently that he is not having a lot of consistency today. While Mike, at least yesterday on the BSCC, on the British Sports Car Championship, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, did very, very consistent lap times and finished first in his respected class, which was TCLC, in which I also took part and finished third. Lynch still in the mix. And there is Mike. There is Mike. The Mike we know. Third place for him, 47.4. And Lynch is up there as well. Samoilenko, of course, with a sub 46. We're not even talking about like a competition here. Samoilenko way in the front. The question is, can he make it this time? Will he calculate a liter of fuel more? Just to be sure that stuff like yesterday, where he ran out onto the finish line, running towards the finish line, up the hill on Brands Hatch Indy, he ran out of fuel, and that basically ended his race on a sour note in P3 instead of P1. Mike getting the last lap out here. We're already in overtime. I am interested to know how these cars drive for Yordake and Mike. Maybe Janak later on. Feel free to jump into the chat and let me know. What are they like? Hard to really get comfortable in, or easy time? Very setup dependent? What is your opinion? Mikey in the yellow car. And rushing upwards the hill, going over the line. Not as the last, that is going to be Vina, who is now approaching the penultimate turn. Now approaching the ultimate turn, the last one. As he is there now. Preps the car for the uphill, but he goes offline. Goes off the line, touches the grass, and that took some time out of him for sure. And here we are. That concludes the qualifying that Samoylenko, with over a second, won. He is on pole. Ukrainian driver. Samoylenko. We have Lynch, Rowan Lynch. Car feels real fun to drive. Ooh, okay. Might have to test it then at some point. But the TCL mods usually are okay, right? We have some fun with them usually. Like in general, I would say. 20 seconds until we go. Guys, here it is. The Nitro Knights Nitro Legends series. And give it all you got. Give it all you got. We will follow Samoylenko right at the beginning. And see if he actually gets a good start out of it. Or nah. I think following him from this perspective on will be the best to determine if he has a good start or no. Yodaka right behind him. Lynch on the other line behind him. So it is familiar faces all around. With Rowan Lynch, Sebastian Yodake, Mike van der Burgt, and Michael Janak. That is what I want to see here. 10 seconds. Here we go. The lights are on. The red lights there in the front. You see them. And the flag drops green as we go out towards T1. And Samoylenko has a beautiful start. Lynch as well. Yodake just has to look out because there's Mike already there. Ready to strike. We have a lot of side-by-sides going into the hairpin, into Druids, right? Side-by-side for the blue cars there. Janak, Vina. Both side by side. Janak has the nose in the front. Vina takes it and goes for Mike. Takes it and goes for Mike. That is on par with what we knew about Vina when we last talked about him. I would say I'm surprised if I didn't expect it. That's not the first time he is doing that. And it's also not the first time he does it in the Porsche. Killing another car, in this case, the Burgt Racing car, Mike van der Burgt, in the yellow number 3. It's unfortunate. I'm not sure what is happening on that end. I just hope he doesn't log off immediately when he has a bit of an unfortunate thing. Mike needs to catch him and take revenge. You know how I feel about revenge. You know how I feel about that, but yeah. It's unfortunate because it really, it's really starting to, it's not my series, but it's starting to piss me off. That, that we have such a racecraft displayed here. Janak making the move on Gallego. Gallego going wide in his blue number 1 car. Janak with his blue car as well. Sweeping through in a very, very quick motion. And on the next plate, it is Janak. It is Vina. We'll have to see if he tries, how he tries. Will he make the move now or never? 4th place he is currently. Vaina's breaking point in this section here, at least on the inside, he had earlier way off. Going onto the grass there a slight bit. And Mike trying to catch himself back up again. Yodaka with the best lap, but that's probably because it's the only valid lap as far as I see it right now. In the slipstream now with Vaina having the opportunity to strike very, very soon. This is the closest battle you see on the track today. At the moment, at least. At the moment. Yodaka and Lynch are still very, very close. And Janak has now the opportunity to maybe make a move. Right as we go to the straight towards the last turn, I feel Janak might take the opportunity. He's already looking towards the empty sides, and there he has it, side by side, and he has a way better exit, even though having such a bad line. And he takes that like a champ, makes the move on Vaina. Vaina P5, Janak P4. Oh, and we have Karyao with an absolute pro move round the outside. Completely leaves Gallego in the dust. Makes the move. Absolutely beautiful, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. Vaina's car slightly stepping out there. After T1, we're going into the braking zone for the hairpin. And Gallego actually has the inside and tries to take that back. No possible switchback for Karyao in this race. Here, 16 minutes left when we already saw a few battles, and we saw a bit of a nasty crash that will probably be, I would say, should probably be monitored after the race. But that is only my personal opinion here. That was a bit unfortunate there. Vaina killing Mike. Side by side, Gallego, Karyao, yet again. And oh boy, Gallego does not sweat it. Everything's cool for Gallego. Keeps a very calm line on the outside there. Let him have the inside if he wants it, he says to himself. And does a very good job. Karyao as well, currently fighting for P6. We have a bit of a battle here with Yodaka and Janak. Any moment now, Yodaka was very, very close to the second place. Rowan Lynch from Apex Assault Racing now has lost 2 seconds towards that second place he was eyeing towards. Janak Yodaka it is. And I think that battle is happening very, very soon. If Janak can keep the car alive. And Yodaka touches the sand there. And has to surrender the inside to Janak, who makes the move into third. Can he run away with it? Karyao Gallego fighting for 6th position as we speak. But that was a move. Also, very, very much. Oh, and we have a bit of a battle here. Gallego Karyao and Mike Vanderburgt, who shouldn't even be in the back there. What is happening here? Mike slightly losing it, slightly losing the car there again. What is going on? What is going on? That looks like he doesn't have that much damage, but losing the car like that is very, very unfortunate. On the uphill there, right before. And the battle is still on. Gallego and Karyao for P6 currently. And we're really, really trying to factor in that there is a battle going on for P3 maybe, if Yodaka can get that back. Otherwise, Janak is probably catching up to Rowan Lynch now. On the other hand, in other news, Samoylenko in first place is absolutely running away with it. 13 minutes remaining, and Samoylenko has 6 seconds to the second place Rowan Lynch. And it looked very good for Samoylenko yesterday as well. That is a Almost a new personal best for him. That is almost what he did in qualifying there just now, a 1:45.9. Beautiful. He has about a second faster than anybody else per lap. And that is just, it is an impressive trade from Samoilenko. We saw it yesterday as well, fighting with Venuti and Janak on the BSCC. And while that was happening, Samoilenko ran out of fuel on the last lap, going towards the uphill, going towards the checkered flag. He ran out of fuel, having to surrender his place last second to Janak and Venuti. And Cajiao slightly losing the car there and having to surrender also the 6th place to Gallego, and he lost a bit more time than he needed. It is, well, can't do anything about that now, but Gallego is quite up there now. That is at least a second. Yeah, 1.5 seconds in front. I feel that is going to take some time for Cajiao to take that back and actually make the move towards 6th place again. In other news, Janak has now actually caught up to Rowan Lynch and is probably battling on the next lap with him. For P2, by the way, this is for the podium. This is a double race 2 times. All places are reversed on the second one. And Mike still might have a good chance of a high result here today if he keeps on. If he keeps on, and on the second race, this might work out a bit better. If he doesn't get killed by Viner again, I'm sure this is going to be analyzed after the race. I know the Nitro Knights by now, they do run the replay and really look through it. And I feel like Mike was done dirty there. I am not a steward, and I cannot really tell who was at fault there or who who wasn't. I'm not the authority on that end. I can only tell you how it looked to me, and I feel like Mike did not much wrong there. Viner just tried to fight with Janak for the position, went for the inside, and just didn't brake as much as he should have. And there it happened. Yodaka slightly going over and touching the dirt. We can't blame Mike, so Viner is automatically at fault. I'm not sure I can say that either. But, yeah, I'm really not sure. I feel this is on Viner. But, again, I made bad calls in the past. Oh, and Lynch, Rowan Lynch, actually goes over towards the dirt. And now it's time. Janak is just prepping the turn to go for Rowan Lynch here. It's not going to happen now. That was not enough to make the actual move into P2, but it is happening. The battle is going on. You are seeing it here first, and that is the closest battle on the grid currently of all 10 drivers. This is the battle for P2. Samoilenko actually not as fast anymore as he was to the beginning of the race. He was running away 1 second faster than anybody else. But last few laps were like 3 seconds off. I'm not sure if he encountered a back marker, but it doesn't look to me like he did. Maybe there was a bit of an oopsie-poopsie happening. If it was, then so be it. He has plenty of time to play with in this race, in this 8 minutes that he has left. He has only like 6 seconds. He is 6 seconds in the front. If something bad happens, that is still not enough time to really cushion the fall, but I think he has a bit of a safety net, a bit of a pillow in between the distance here, so that if he does something, if he messes up, then there is enough there is enough distance towards that he can actually work this out. And he still runs with away Samoilenko. Let's see how that lap looks for him. Maybe also he has to manage now. Maybe he is again on the wrong fuel. That is a 47.7. Also not much like it's used to be. And Lynch Janak, it's still happening. And Lynch is trying to run away from Janak, who is at this point really just waiting for a moment where he can sweep through and make the move. I do feel that Janak wants to go the safe route here and make the move whenever it is absolutely the safest to do so. And Janak there, he puts the cars side by side. He has the inside. Rowan Lynch does not have an answer to that. He can't make the switch back. There is the move. And Janak goes into P2. Can he hold it, or is Lynch able to get that back immediately? I do wonder. We're going with the bonnet cam here, throwing the car slowly in. But I do believe that Janak will now push way more and run out of it if possible. Here on the Nitro Legends, 6 minutes are left. A few more laps in the first race. Hello, Adam. How are you doing? Welcome. We are going into the braking zone now, stretching towards the final turn and hoping that Lynch might get a bit of slipstream back for it. Congrats on being on the main page yesterday, Adam. I was very surprised looking at my Twitch and the viewer numbers. that confused me a lot. But yeah, then we kind of figured out what was happening when I looked at the main page. So yeah, now we do have a bit of a drought. No, we do have an active battle here, guys. We do have an active battle. Gallego, Vaina, and Yodaka are still very much fighting. Yodaka trying to get as much out of the track as possible using all of that line. Did lose a lot here on the uphill. Now we're kind of trying to go 3 wide into that turn. I'm not sure we can make that. I am not sure we can make that. But Yodaka is really looking into the free space that Vaina might be able to give him here or there. That might have been a cut warning, but I'm not 100% sure if that really was a cut. Yodaka hitting the dirt again, and there is Gallego putting his car side by side up the hill here. And Yodaka, he is trying to hold on, but he is using so much of line. He's using so much grass there, and that is taking him some time away from his preferred position. I think he lost out on that battle between Gallego, Vaina, and himself. Battle for P4 was that, to be quite precise, into the slipstream, and there is still a possibility that he makes the move onto Gallego in the last 3.5 minutes. There will still be some laps left, and there Yodaka makes the move at T1, side by side still. Can Gallego get that back? He stays on the outside there. Yodaka goes for the inside. Vaina slightly loses the car. Yodaka does almost get 2 positions to the price of 1. Settles the car down a bit. Does not get almost. I thought he was almost getting touched there by Gallego, but it looks like that was not the case. Going up the hill, Vaina with not the best line. Has to go wide there. Yodaka this time, he is on a better side in the car. And I did see that Mike is making his way up the hill as well. And we will have to see if he can get that back. We're touching with Vina. We're definitely elbows out here. All in good faith. All still racing. Although that touch I might have a bit of a different opinion about. Mike, who is coming up that turn now, does see a bit of a dust cloud there forming and wonders what is happening there in front of me. But that also gives him time to the people that are in front and potentially maybe a position up into P6 or better. Yodaka, another move into P5 now. An active battle between Gallego and Yodaka. We have seen that before in other cars, especially in the Caterham, where Yodaka and Gallego were actively fighting for positions side by side permanently. Absolutely fighting it out. Really, really nice stuff, and I do enjoy when I see racing like this. Now he has Vina again right in front of him, and he has to... has to be quick about it now because we don't have that much time on the track anymore. I do feel we will see one more lap after this. Not 100%. I'm pretty sure we will see one more lap after this. And then Yodaka has to actually take the opportunity and go into P4. It's a two-part race, so we will see double the fun by switching all drivers, by reversing all drivers, finishing position, and this is going to be fun. On this uphill, Yodaka seems to have actually managed to find a very, very good line. I feel he is currently faster than anybody else on here. And there they come down the hill, braking. No, I think it's a very much lifting, if I remember the telemetry from earlier. I'm not sure they're braking much for this here. Throwing the car into here, and Vina is still in the front, and it seems to be slightly slower than Yodaka, so the chance is there. Just the question is, how much is Vina willing to give that place up to Yodaka, who has been fighting for this for a while now? Dropping towards the front into the braking zone, and we are out for the last lap now, and Yodaka has the chance now, and you will see this. Gallego a bit further away from Yodaka, so not an immediate threat, I would say, currently, as Yodaka is making his way more towards the battle for 4th place. Not touching the dirt is very, very important here. And we are indeed in overtime. Braking up the hill. Vina, does he go wide again? This time he doesn't do it that much. Yodaka really has to stretch and try something funny, I believe, on the last turn, if he wants to get that. Oh, yeah, okay, so we do brake. We do brake a lot for that turn. Then my bad, my bad. I probably just jumped in there earlier. Pushing out, almost losing the car there a bit, but not touching the dirt that much. And the battle is on. The battle is on. And Samoilenko wins the first round. Yanak second. Lynch third. Vina fourth. Or Yodaka fourth. That is the question. It is now. He gets a relatively good run, but not good enough on Vina. One more lap, and that could have been a much more interesting battle towards it. I do think there might be some very silent choice words in the heads of some drivers here today, and I do share that. I do share that. I wonder what was happening there. Vina is leaving after the first race. Interesting. Yes. I do wonder, like, well, I'm keeping my mouth shut. Oh, Mike. Oh, Mike. It's all good. We all saw it. We all saw it. It was caught in 4K. I'm not even streaming in 4K, but it was caught in 4K what was happening. And then Yodaka. Yeah. Not sure if they're getting back up, but yeah, I do wonder, because that wasn't usually how Vina actually drives. That started a few weeks back, and I'm really not sure what's going on there. Let me find it real quick. Oh, we're waiting for Asega, who... There we go. Do we still have someone else on track? I don't think so, right? I can't skip the session, though. Interesting. Congrats to P6. More green hell cup. I did check out the stream earlier a bit. You were doing Indy, right? IndyCar. Maybe can't skip because people left. That might be. Might be. Best place to crash is in front of the pits. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Any hypercar on WSS? Actually, yes. Actually, yes, Adam. So we actually do have... Well, like if we're actually talking hypercar on WSS itself... Oh shit. Wrong browser, I guess. Why do I have two browsers open? That doesn't make any sense. There! The Nitro hypercar. Yodake. Technically. Race starting. Yes. Alright. Alright. Let's go right back. We're going again. Have fun, guys. Oh yeah, the Porsche today on brands. Good luck. Yes, I like good luck to all of the drivers. I hope they have fun. I'm just a safety car in the background there, so I'll get teleported anyway. 20 seconds left. Let's see if Mike has a bit more luck on this race than he had in the previous. We have completely reversed all of the drivers. Arcega in the front. Medina second. Mike in third. Gallego, Yodake. Everybody's still in as we make our way to T1. And Arcega has the nose in the front. Oh, and we have a huge pileup. Lynch out. Medina out. Karyao Gallego definitely hit by that. Wow, and Vina isn't even here. What the hell happened there? We will have to look later in the replay. Side by side. See, that is how you actually do that. That is how you do side by side. Like, actually good into that turn. Because Yodaki Yanak, earlier it was Yanak Vina, and Vina just straight up taking anybody out who was in front of him. This time, Yodaki Yanak actually make it towards it. And we have a side-by-side Samoylenko as well with still in the mix. Won the last race and now is making his way towards the front. In P5 currently, Mike leading the pack at the moment with 2 seconds to spare from Arcega. Somebody going over that was Arcega. Actually going over, losing a bunch of places. Going back to P8. A bunch of Porsches here. Into the sharp left-hander. Samoylenko in P5. Gunning for P4. No, in P4. Gunning for P3, actually. Those numbers here are not correct. But here we go. Here we go. Do we have another side-by-side currently? I don't think. Yodaka with the fastest lap again. That is not news to me. He did that earlier as well after the first lap. Yanak going wide there. Samoylenko side-by-side into the hairpin. I do believe Samoylenko will have this. Having the inside here. Yanak has to step out there from the outside. And Samoylenko now in P3. Gunning for Yodaka. Really approaching him with speed. We will have to see how that ends. Lynch, after his crash, way in the back here. And he didn't even get much damage. He just spun out. Simple as that. Was part of the big pile up there. T1. T1 actually worked quite well when the first race was starting. Now on the second race, it was very rough, I feel. Very rough. Let's go to the intervals there and see who is actually fighting. Yodaka going over by quite a bit, giving Samoylenko the chance to strike. And not only that, he actually loses 2 places. And he loses 3 places. Gallego in the front as well, into P4. Yodaka back to P5 with Karyao in the background, getting closer and closer. Maybe calling dibs on that 5th position as well. Let's see how they pull this off. Yanak might be able to catch up to Samoylenko, but we do know that Samoylenko is running very fast laps with his fastest being like about 1 second faster than what he currently did as the fastest lap of the race. Everybody else, I do think, is not managing those lap times now. Samoylenko had enough to fight. Now he has a relatively free room towards Mike Vanderburgt, who is 4 seconds away. He has to catch up to that now. Yodaka in the midst of the fight against Gallego will probably make the move. I'm not sure when, to be honest, on the straight here. And he loses the car, unfortunately. Giving it to Karyao. Getting back on track as Lynch is also taking Yodaka's place as well. Medina 3 seconds away. Might go for Yodaka as well. Yodaka, the rising star in the second race, being up there, 3rd place, 4th place, and then unfortunately losing out on a lot of places just by spinning out once. And, well, technically twice. Let's say twice. Because that second one up the hill now did happen just a few seconds ago. Yanak is currently gunning for 2nd place Samoylenko, but I don't think it will be enough. he will be running away unless something huge happens. Yodaka tries to get it back against Rowan Lynch, Apex Assault Racing Team. And Mike actually with the fastest lap. My eyes are not deceiving me. Pulled half a second out of that and is trying to run away from Samoylenko. He does not want him to win. Mike currently in the front, leading the pack. Very, very well done. Could actually separate himself from the rest of the grid right at the start. He started quite in the front and is now doing a very good job at running away from Samoylenko. I'm not sure if it's enough, but, well, we will see. Yanak still very much in the mix in P3. Gallego in the back, 2.5 seconds. Is not a direct threat to the podium for Yanak. I do believe Yanak is very, very secure in the position he has currently. Although, anything can happen. You never know. You might miss a turn. You might just spin out on the curb. Anything can happen. Never expect a safe position to stay safe for the whole race. Yodaka currently catching still up to Rowan Lynch in P6. The battle is on. The war is far from over. And he is now flying through the turns here. Very calculated. Does not touch the dirt or the grass that much anymore as we go into the final turn. 13 minutes to go. Samoylenko with a 45.7. Mike Vanderburgt actually with a 46 point. Well, is currently not running away again as Samoylenko now made a move way up and actually put some pace towards it. But I do know Mike, and Mike likes to fight for his place, so we will see what happens when Samoylenko actually gets closer to Mike Vanderburgt, who is now going up the hill, and that battle is not gonna have to wait for very long. I do believe we will see it in a few seconds. That is the closest battle currently on the grid. 0.6. We have 0.6 of a second away from Mike, and the move is happening. You know it, I know it. Everybody knows it. Look at that. He is already in the slipstream on the last straight there. And I do think he will try something. Maybe go for the inside there. We have our first class seats right at that battle here. 0.4 away. Breaking into it. Throwing the car in for the final stretch towards the start-finish line. Going over T1. There it is. And it does seem to now be not as easy, because even though you're 1.5 seconds or 1 second even faster, that still means you have to make the move. And if Mike defends very well, as I know him to, then I do think this is still going to be quite tough on Samoylenko here today. Mike and Samoylenko, by the way, take very different lines up that hill. Yanak, again, I would say that his position even got more comfortable, as I don't feel that Gallego, 4 seconds behind Yanak currently, is not making the move anytime soon. And Samoylenko on the inside there. Mike keeps it there. Slightly touches Samoylenko, but I think all in good faith. That did just look like a bit of a rubbing elbows to me. Nothing too serious. Nobody got hurt. Nobody spun out. Nobody in the dirt currently. As there's also a move from Lynch to Kakyao. What is happening here? What is happening here? Maybe. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. The battle for P1 is currently more important. But I do feel that Mike just lost the train, the slipstream of Samoyenko, who will now try to run away as fast as possible. Yodak is still very much in P7, fighting with Lynch for P6, but Lynch is running away currently, capturing Kakyao in P5. Capturing? No, catching. Sorry, catching, not capturing. He is not going to capture Kakyao. And I think we will see something there very, very soon. Let's see if that battle is really over, or if there is still a chance. But even if the battle for P1 might be over now, Yanak is still there, and I feel like Mike and Yanak's lap times are still kind of similar, but maybe Yanak can catch up a bit towards the Dutch Mike van der Burg. That was very weirdly pronounced. I'm very sorry. Let's go in for Lynch here, who does see Kakyao in the front already in his green Nitro Knights Porsche. 8 minutes left in this absolute treat of a race. Towards the braking zone here for Lynch. And it's closing in. But seems to be, at least in the mid parts of the lap, slightly lose it. And there it is. Lynch touching the dirt. Kakyao just got dropped. Kakyao, I think, is out. I believe he just got dropped. No, he's still there. Ping issues. Ping issues are a thing. Kakyao is back. 3 seconds between the two. Lynch versus Kakyao happening right now. Yanak getting closer to Mike van der Burg as well. Up there in P2. We have Medina and Arcega, who do not have a good day today on the road. I feel like they missed out both races now. Arcega being last on the first race and now being last on the second. Going into the braking zone there. Lynch is still trying to keep up, but now Kakyao is running away with it. From the Nitro Knights. We do have a few teams here. Today we have Burke Racing. That is Mike in P2 currently. We have Kakyao from the Nitro Knights. We have Medina from the Nitro Knights. Lot of people up here. We have Apex Assault Racing. That is Rowan Lynch. We have Willis Squad with Gallego. We have Vina. We had Vina in the first round for Broken Gears. Pegasus 77 Racing Team for Yanak in P3 currently. And now Yodaka may be catching up, but it still looks very, very much far away, and I don't think we will see a lot of late battles here in the back on the last 5.5 minutes. But hey, sometimes maybe I can be surprised as well. It seems to be a bit confused, because it does say that Samoyenko is 7 seconds behind the leader, while he actually is the leader. This WSS server seems to be a bit confused about who is first and who isn't currently. But now Yanak still trying to catch up, but as I said, the lap time between Mike and Michael Yanak is quite close. Samoyenko doing a mistake. Hopefully that's not a fuel problem again, but there is the move side by side. Mike van der Burg versus Samoyenko yet again has the upper has the nose in the front there, has the leverage, and actually makes the move. Samoyenko? What the hell happened there? What the hell happened there, I wonder? Crazy. That far into the race, we see a change in the lead. 0.6 away currently, Samoyenko to Mike van der Voort. Janak very much still in the mix, a second away. Mike going over! Was that missing his braking point, or was that something else? Touching the grass there? Yeah. Touching the grass and going over. Unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. That was Mike's chance to be in the front there, but slightly touched the grass while braking, and then the car just moves straight, you know? You can't really do much about that. Nothing you can do. But Janak still might be in the mix. 1.2 seconds in the last 3 minutes. I do think we will see 2 more laps after this. Let's see how they make this work. Closest battle on the grid currently is the battle for the lead here between Janak and Samoyenko. And by the way, from Samoyenko, absolute masterclass. Absolute masterclass. Yesterday and today, he did an absolute number on the racetrack. Brands Hatch seems to be his track. The only problem was the fuel calculation yesterday. I'm sure that won't happen that... I'm not sure that will happen that soon. Again, that Samoyenko runs out of fuel on the final stretch. I think from now on, he will take a liter with him just to be sure and not run out last minute. There we go. And as I said, we will see 2 more laps. So the next one and then another, that will be the last lap. Go over the line there. Unless something... No. No. It will be 2 more laps. I am very, very certain of that. Yodaka now way out. Oh, we have... What is happening here? What is happening? Oh, I think Kajiao kind of reconnected again. Medina way in the back currently. Arcega as well. And Lynch, the times do mix up quite a bit. So this could be due to Kajiao having trouble with his internet. But what a beautiful race this was so far. Even though it was a double race, but it made for some interesting T1 shenanigans. Bit sad that we didn't have Vina. That would have probably made it even more explosive. Janak now very, very close to Samoyenko. It seems to be on this specific part of the track that Samoyenko has some problems and actually gets Janak can catch up and actually prepare for a move. There on the penultimate turn, Samoyenko does touch the dirt there, loses a bit of momentum towards Janak, and Janak might have a chance here to actually go for the win if the opportunity comes around. Then it could happen. Samoyenko goes wide. Samoyenko goes very, very wide. The car stepping out on him a bit. And Janak might have a chance here on the last lap to actually try something. Goes on to the throttle and the battle is on. Last lap in the Porsche here today on the Nitro Legends. Look at them come down the... And now going up the hill. Kind of lost what I wanted to say here. All good. Now onto the straight. I feel like without the slipstream, Samoyenko is just a bit faster. And with a bit, I mean like 0.9 seconds on the best lap. He is just running away. He does understand those cars very well, it seems. Without a few minor issues there, losing the car a few times. I feel like he made a very good race happen today. And this is going to be the last straight for the last turn. Samoyenko, here he is, winning the first race. Now going towards winning the second. If he does run out of fuel, I don't want to jinx it. But I think that is it. That is the race. Samoyenko wins the first round of the Nitro Legends on Brands Hatch. Beautifully done. Absolute great race. Where is my applause? There is my applause. There it is. Masterclass. Yadak honking the horn here. We have Mike in P3. Has to be gutted also a bit because he had the first place reeled in there a bit and it looked very good, and then just very unfortunate that on that sharp left-hander he just slightly touched the grass, his car going straight. What we could do is look at lap 1 because that is actually... Made an oopsie poopsie. I made a big oopsie. Yeah,